What's up, guys? It is T. Kyle here, and the title of this video is not clickbait. Today I am going to be telling you exactly how I lost over 20 pounds without stepping foot in the gym. I've paid for my gym membership for 6 months, but I have not stepped foot in the gym for 6 months. Honestly, I never even stepped foot. I rarely was in the gym ever, which is probably bad that I'm paying $10 a month for it, but okay, so I just want to preface this video by saying that I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a trainer, I am not a medical professional, I am in no way, shape, or form a expert or a professional in any of those fields. I am simply a normal, gay, living in New York City, and I successfully was able to lose 22 pounds, to be exact, 22 pounds in the past 6 months. So today, I am gonna go through some of my tips and tricks and just things that I have adjusted into my routine that I have found personally to be very successful. And I wanted to share them, not to, look, what I do is not what you should do, because what works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work at all for you. Like, we're all different. Everyone's, oh, 1 second, my battery is dying. I literally just got up to get my battery and they're starting construction outside. You guys, I can't wait. This is the trials and tribulations of trying to make YouTube videos while living in New York City, because it's like, I look cute today. I think I look cute today. Like, my skin looks good. I'm like, oh my God, I got this new sweater. And then they decide to drill out the street literally just 30 seconds ago. But we are going to get through it. I'm gonna get through this video, so I apologize if you hear like in the background. We're gonna get through these tips. So I'm just sharing these. I'm not telling anyone this is what you should do. This is 100% proven, will work. It's things to try. It's things that I've taken from other people. These are like ideas and tricks and stuff that I've been inspired from other people, or I've heard from other people that I've incorporated into my life and my routine and my unique schedule, and have found that they've worked. Okay, so it is true. I have not gone to the gym. I hate going to the gym. And that is my first tip for you guys. Or the first thing I guess I could share is that I hate going to the gym, and so I recognized that I hate going to the gym, and I accepted that I fucking hate going to the gym, and I decided that on this new weight loss journey, I was going to adjust accordingly and not go to the fucking gym. So I accepted it, because so many people tell you, like, you have to work out, you have to go to the gym, you have to get on the elliptical, you have to go to the treadmill. And I'm like, I fucking hate going on the fucking elliptical. Especially here in New York. It's so crowded. Everyone's a fucking asshole. As I sit here cursing up a storm. But I'm not an asshole. At least not at the gym. It is the worst. I hate it. So I accepted that I hate the gym. And I said, okay, I am going to adjust my diet accordingly so that I don't have to go to the gym. And that's exactly what I did. And I took that stress off of my back. I took that expectation out of my schedule, and I just completely removed it. I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym. We're going to work around it. So that's my first tip, is if you hate going to the gym, you can make sacrifices in other areas and not go to the gym. So for me, it was 90% diet, because I still did get in exercise, but just in a different way, which I will share with you guys. My next thing, I said to myself, okay, how am I gonna burn calories and not go to the gym? What do I like doing? I love to walk. I can walk for hours and hours and hours and never get bored, because especially here in New York, you can walk down the street and see I see crazy shit all the time. You can see new sights, and I love photography, so I can take my camera out with me. So I said, I'm going to just stick to my Fitbit and walking. So I love photography, listening to new music albums, and I can walk here in New York to work half of the way. What I will do now is, if there's a new album that comes out, So like recently I listened to Dua Lipa, the new Avicii EP, like any of these new releases that come out, I will put them on a playlist on my Spotify, and I will tell myself that I'm just gonna walk while listening to the entire album. So I'll just walk outside, I'll go down 10th Ave or wherever and just walk and loop and loop and loop and keep walking. Keep walking.
What? Keep walking.
Kelly Dodd. And I'll come back when I'm done listening to the album. And I really like it. And so I just got in 2 birds, 1 stone. I walked for an hour and I listened to a new album. So instead of doing it while I'm sitting at my computer or sitting at my desk, I will do something active instead. And that's one of the things that I've started doing to get some exercise in. And then the other one is I looked at my commute to work because I am like Midtown West-ish and my office is downtown. Now I can walk to work. It takes me 65 minutes to walk to work. I've done it before. I don't really do it as much anymore because I get like sweaty and gross if I walk that long. So I don't really do that anymore. Probably when it gets colder out, I will. But what I did was I divided up my commute into half walking, half the subway. So I'll walk to the subway, I'll take the subway down, and then I'll get out at either 14th Street or West 4th Street, and then I'll walk 15, 20 minutes to work. So that way I get in, you know, another 15, 20 minutes of walking. Now, should I probably be doing some strength training? Probably, but you know what? I'm not there yet. I probably will incorporate that. I'm looking into some exercise classes and stuff where I can incorporate some strength training. But for right now, today, my 6-month mark, I am focusing on just like walking, getting my steps in, and it's working for me. My next tip is timing. Now, this is like a mix of science and working with your schedule. So, little mini science lesson. Our bodies are timed to sleep and eat based on your circadian rhythm with the sun. So it's like you wake up, you know, your body's like, oh, it's daylight out, I'm supposed to be awake. And then when it gets dark, you get sleepy, and then melatonin like, you know, basically Miss Frizzle up in this bitch. But it's based around the sun. Now, my schedule, my day is 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it's dark my entire shift. So I, for the longest time, was stuck not really knowing what to do around that schedule. So I went to a doctor and got some assistance and some guidance on how to manage that. Now, obviously, a lot of you watching this video probably don't work that shift. You might work 8 to 5, or you might work overnight, or something different, but I think you can kind of take the 8-hour chunk and just move it around accordingly. So for me, I'm working, you know, this later in the day. And what I was doing for the longest time was I would get up and I would have a big breakfast, because they say, you know, you should have a big healthy breakfast, and it's, you know, breakfast of champions, whatever. So I would have a big breakfast. Then I would have lunch, then I would have a snack, then I'd go to work, and I'd have a big dinner. So I was having big breakfast, big dinner, and I was doing that for the longest time. And I never really thought anything of it, but that was a problem because I was having 2 big high-calorie meals in my day. So what I did was I looked at my time schedule and I cut out the big breakfast. And instead, what I do now is I have a smaller breakfast, a smaller, healthier breakfast. So I'll do eggs, or I'll do like this, really, Applegate Farms makes some really good sausage that is low calorie, high protein, a little bit of carb. It's so good. So I'll have a small breakfast. I try and keep it around 300 calories. I have a smaller snack again at 2. Then on my way to work, I'll grab a small snack around 4, another smaller one at 6 or 7-ish, and then I have my dinner at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then I have the rest of my shift. So instead of having 2 huge meals at the beginning and end of my day, I have smaller ones building up to work, a big dinner, and then that's like my last meal of the day. And that also has made a huge difference. It also keeps me like less hungry throughout the day by eating smaller meals more frequently. My next tip is better snacks. Now I could do a whole video on this. I think I probably will, about various snacks and foods that I've picked up that are helpful. They, help little cravings or keep me full, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That could be a whole thing. But my one tip that I will give here is almonds. Just like a little bit of almonds, a couple of almonds will keep you going. Like if I'm a little parched and I gotta commute to work, or if I'm a little parched and I know that dinner's coming and it's gonna be a good dinner, because sometimes we get amazing dinners at work, and I'll just have a couple almonds, little. And then the last thing I do in terms of timing is fasting. Now, it's not really fasting. It's more like, they say, like some diet tips will tell you, the kitchen closes at 8 p.m., like stuff like that. So what I try and stick to is, because I'm at work later in the day, later in the night, and then I have this time period where I get home and then I'm usually asleep an hour after I get home from work, I set a time rule where from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m., I don't eat anything. So that's like my kitchen is closed moment. So it depends. Sometimes it's 11 to 11, sometimes it's 12 to 11. That's my range of fasting. So it's not really fasting, but I just call it fasting. So it means like, don't eat for that 12-hour time period. If I get home from work and I am like starving, I can't go to bed. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if I have a ravenous stomach at the end of the day, I can't sleep. So what I will do is I'll have almonds, or I have these really good Morningstar sausage patties. They're like 70 calories, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carb. It will kill the ravenous feeling, and I go to sleep. So that's sort of another thing I've been trying. It's kind of inspired by intermittent fasting. I think it's intermediate, whatever. It's inspired by it's inspired by intermittent fasting, is where that inspiration came from. So I took that concept and I incorporated it and shifted it and molded it into my own schedule. Next up, getting a scale. I picked up a scale 6 months ago based on a recommendation from a friend. And back then it was called WITHINGS, but then they got bought out by NOKIA. So if you go on Amazon and you search NOKIA Plus, I'll put a link below to the specific scale that I use. It comes in black, I think blue, and then white. I love it. I've been using it for 6 months. It's great. It has an app, which they've since redone 3 times actually in 6 months, but now it's good. And it goes on your phone. I'll show you guys. If you follow me on social media, I've tweeted photos of this. So like it'll tell you if you've hit a new low weight, your core. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it because it's bright, but basically it gives you like a chart and you can see I have been losing weight. What I like about the scale is that it has an app. It syncs to my phone via Bluetooth, so I don't have to, program it in, write anything down. It just kind of keeps track of my scale and my weigh-ins by itself. And, I think that's good, because then it doesn't feel like a task. Because I think sometimes it can be overwhelming keeping a food journal, or overwhelming writing down your weight. And so this just does it, and it just syncs, and I love that. My next tip is actually timing of your weigh-in. Now, this is probably the most important tip I will give you in this video, is do not ever weigh yourself every single day. That is the biggest mistake you will make on a weight loss journey, because it will discourage you. Within 1 week, you will give up, because your weight fluctuates like this, like crazy. I could, what's an example? 1 second, I have an example. Okay, this is why you should not weigh yourself every single day, okay? See this water bottle I have right now? It's the water that I'm drinking today. It looks like a 40. It's actually, I love this packaging. Anyway, I've finished half of this. So pretend that I stepped on the scale and got like 164 or whatever. Empty. Oh. Okay, so I just finished 40 full ounces. If I just stepped on the scale again after finishing this, I would probably honestly weigh 1 pound heavier than previously before. So what was my, did that even make a point? My point was, whatever. I needed more water anyway. It's very humid out today. My point is that you could go to work or you could go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a large iced coffee and finish that large iced coffee and weigh a pound heavier. So, or if you had a cheat day and then, which I think you should also allow yourself a cheat day every now and then. Not once a week, but like I try and do like every 2 weeks. I do it like a cheat day. But yeah, my point is that every single day you could eat something or drink something and weigh a pound and a half heavier, and you're gonna freak the fuck out thinking that you're failing or that you're messing up. So don't weigh yourself every single day. It is the biggest mistake you can make. So what I do instead of weighing myself every day is I plan out my weigh-ins. Sunday to Wednesday, I do the small breakfast thing. And then Thursday night, I'll eat lighter. So I'll either do like a protein shake, I skip bread. I'll just, have chicken or something that is light and a little bit leaner. And then I weigh in on Friday mornings. And then Fridays, I don't cheat. Friday's not a cheat day. And then I weigh in again on Saturday morning and I try and find the average between those two numbers. So I really just, I remove the pressure off of myself when it comes to the exact number, and I recognize and I understand that your weight can change based on, chugging a water bottle or chugging a large iced coffee. So I've removed that pressure off of myself and I weigh in on Fridays and Saturdays in the mornings, and I find the middle ground between those two numbers. And then if I ever do a cheat day, I will do it Saturday, like Saturday night. If I'm gonna go out, it would be a Saturday night. And yeah, that's kind of the plan that I have around weighing myself. I really like the app on the scale. There's 3 apps that I use. It's the HealthMate, which is the Nokia, which comes with the scale. You can't use it for anything else. If you don't have the scale, there's no point in downloading the app. But also MyFitnessPal, I think, is good. If, I have a day where I'm like, how many calories did I really have? I will use it as a food journal. I don't do it every day. I try not to have that pressure on myself. But some days, like if it's a Friday or a Saturday and I'm like, oh, I need to be good because I want to have a cheat day, or I'm going to go to this party and I just want to make sure that I don't, fall out of the habit, I will use MyFitnessPal to kind of keep myself in line for a couple days. It's a good tool. I don't use it every single day. And then obviously my Fitbit also has an app, which I love. I have had this thing for, let me look. I've had my Fitbit for 15, 16, over 3.5 years. I use the Fitbit One. It stays in my pocket. That's the one I like. I don't like, having a lot of things on my wrists. So those are my tips that have worked for me these past 6 months. You guys have been here on this journey with me here on YouTube. I've been sharing my journey, and I wanted to share my tips with you guys because it's, weight loss is so fucking hard, and the markets and the industries and the business out there, they make so much money off of people, with food products and low fat this and low carb this and diet, buy this book, try this new plan. It's such a market, and it's so hard to get sucked into things and to, I don't know. I've been through this 3 times in my life, and I'm planning, my goal is that this will be the last time I ever have to go through this process, because the times that I've gained weight in my life were based around stress and big life adjustments. So when I first went to college, I gained like the freshman 50 and I put on a lot of weight and then I lost it. When I graduated college and I was trying to get my footing in my career, my early days, and then again, when I quit a full-time job to start my freelance venture and I was working from here in my apartment, and I fell into the habit of delivery.com. That was my biggest downfall, was just like ordering out and eating like massive takeouts from Subway and Lucky Burger, and that was my downfall. I fell into the habit. So those are the 3 times that I've gained the most weight. I am planning now, you know, I'm gonna be 30 next year. This is it for me. I plan to get back down to this level, get down to where I wanna go. I've got a couple more pounds to go and then I'm good. And I'm gonna go back to maintaining. And I wanna keep it there, keep an eye on my stress. Documenting this here on YouTube has helped. It holds me accountable. I wanted to share what works for me on here because you guys have seen it. You've literally seen me transform myself on camera here on YouTube the past couple months, and those are my tips and tricks. And maybe you guys can, you know, take those and mold them and warp them and incorporate them into your life. Maybe you'll take one tip and try this, or you know what I'm saying? And so all of these things I've done, I've taken from other people, things I've seen work for other people, and I've molded them, and hopefully you guys can do the same. Yep, those are all my tips. Realize I hate the gym and adjust accordingly. So lower calories, Fitbit, walk while listening to new albums, split up my commute, walk a little bit of the way, timing, no more big breakfast, snacks, healthier snacks, almonds, fasting from 11 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 11-ish every single night, my scale, only weigh in once a week, well, twice a week, but I average the 2 numbers, and then setting small goals. So right now I am at just under 165. I want to get down to 155 and get my body fat percentage lower. So for me now moving forward, I may actually be looking into a strength training routine. I will link below to the apps that I use and also to the scale that I use that I've really been loving. And if you guys have any questions at all about anything that I mentioned in this video, please leave me a comment below. I will be replying to your comments. And thank you to those of you who have been following this journey for your support and your cheering. That has been also one of the biggest things that has been helpful, is having, you know, you guys supporting and applauding me. It's important to have a friend or a workout partner or someone in your life who supports you and isn't gonna make those snide comments like, oh, you need to eat a cheeseburger, or, oh, don't get too skinny, like, you know, just obnoxious comments. So find a friend, a parent, a sibling, someone, a coworker, someone who supports you, or you can do it together. That's also another good tip that I have for you guys, is to know your own body and listen to yourself. Take other people's opinions and other people's advice, but ultimately trust yourself and trust your body and trust what works for you. Thank you guys for watching. And if you guys want to know more about the snacks I eat or whatever, leave me a comment below as well. Let me know if that's something you want to see. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys. It's Brittany, bitch. Shake your tits.